Next is a company, right? They also need to make money to make it sustainable. Oh, is the evil company going to like squeeze them for money and try to like force every Nux user to deploy on Vercel? But Vercel is a framework agnostic platform. And it wants to support Svelte, it wants to support Nuxt, it wants to support Vite as well.
Nuxt today is one of the most popular ways of building Vue apps. And I saw that NuxtLabs, which does a lot of work for Nuxt, is literally got acquired by Vercel.
Yeah.
So how is the relation currently with the Vue team and the Nuxt team in highlight of all of this?
So the relationship really didn't change at all. So Nuxt team has always been its kind of own independent team. So there's a certain overlap. Say Anthony, he's both on Nuxt and he's also on Vue team. But primarily, the separation between Vue and Nuxt in terms of team structure is pretty clean. So Vue focuses mostly on just the rendering framework and component layer, whereas Nuxt team primarily focus on the meta framework layer, which is how do you start a full stack server, how do you make the front end and back end work together, how do you deploy to different platforms, etc. Which I'm happy for them to take charge of that part, so I don't have to worry about it. So after the acquisition, one important thing is obviously everybody when they hear about the acquisition, what they worry is the evil company going to like squeeze them for money and try to like force every Nux user to deploy on Vercel. I think that fear, at least for now, has proven to be unwarranted because Vercel actually is very explicit about their intention of the acquisition. Is they want to. Also, from my understanding, is Vercel actually wants to diversify. It does not want to be viewed as the company that only supports Next.js. Because Next.js, while being their biggest lead generator, right? But Vercel is the framework agnostic platform, right? So people will argue, like say Next.js has like platform locking, blah, blah, blah. But Vercel as a platform, right, it supports everything. It supports all the frameworks. And it wants to support Svelte, it wants to support Nuxt, it wants to support Vite as well. So they actually in a way I think acquiring Nuxt actually is an attempt to show people, hey, like we actually support different frameworks. It's not just React, it's not just Next.js. And if you think about that, right, if they want people to actually believe that, they have to do it by show the action. So I think that actually guarantees, that more or less like forces them to actually need to treat Nuxt team, take good care of it, right? Allow it to keep working on Nuxt, allow it to have the freedom to explore the directions, and I think they're doing that, right? So I've actually talked to Sebastian, talked to Daniel about the acquisition afterwards. So I think Vercel is keeping their words. They also. One thing I'm happy about for the Nuxt team is because Nuxt is a company, right? They also need to make money to make it sustainable, and it's hard, right? It's very difficult monetizing a framework without building hosting. So surprisingly, it's not surprising, but Nuxt team never got into hosting. So other ways of monetizing the framework is very, very challenging, right? They tried multiple different things, which, I would say is not working as well as, say, Laravel Forge or Vercel, right? So after they're acquired, Vercel actually just made all their commercial products free. So basically, Vercel is like, you can stop worrying about making money now. Just focus on the framework, which, from my perspective, that's a good thing for the Nuxt team.
Yeah, it's a good thing, and I was pleased to see that basically when I clicked on the deployment section on the Nuxt documentation, I got suggested with various deployment platforms, and not only Vercel. There was like 20 of them. So that was, I was happy to see that.
Yeah, so one thing is Nuxt team is also the team behind Nitro, which is Nitro is essentially this thing that allows you to write the same code but deploy to like many, many different platforms. And Vercel acquired Nuxt, which also includes Nitro, and they're actually pushing Nitro quite heavily, interestingly. So yeah, so in a way, Vercel is actually so far what they're doing, right? Like, because I think everyone will have their own opinions, but so the common thing we can agree on is what Vercel has done so far to Nux. There's really
It's positive.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, it's positive.